one person looks like. And they may actually be waiting for the actual time. Is that was comment section? What's it doing?
I don't know.
Nothing. Don't know.
Henry. Oh, it says 3 watching.
Hey guys, Jamie and I haven't done a live in a long time, and I think we've only done one outside of that. So we figured that since it was nice and rainy for like the past month, that we would do
Longer
something.
than that.
Yeah, we've been doing a couple of videos, but getting close to moving into spring and all that stuff. There's a lot of things that are going on, and we're trying to. Once you get past Christmas and all that, you kind of move into this. I'm ready for spring. All of this stuff is over, and I'm ready for things to change. And we get into this cleaning mode and all kind of stuff. So we just thought while we grabbed our dinner, we'd invite you guys to come along and hang out with us and ask us any questions or anything like that you'd like, and just kind of see where this whole thing goes. So. If you're watching, hit that like button. Let us know you're here, and tell us who you are and where you're from. Don't be shy. So we are eating a. This is pretty much one of our homestead staples, beef roast from one of our cows, peas that Jamie canned last year, the year before, and then rice and gravy. And wow, we have a new baby goat that is a bottle goat that's in the house. That is an absolute trip to watch run around in here. I'm sure we've done some short videos, and we're trying. So we have a cat too, and the cat literally attacks the goat like it's some kind of lion on the prairies of Africa somewhere. And we're desperately trying to get that on video because it's hilarious. You can get through eating. I'm sure that Jamie will get the little fella. What kind of goat is this?
A Nigerian dwarf.
Nigerian dwarf. And it was a twin?
Mm-hmm.
It was a twin. And Mama rejected this one. So Jamie answered the call to save him and bottle raise him and all that good stuff.
He was literally lifeless. Like,
yeah, he was.
Wow.
When she brought him through the door, there wasn't much to him, and I was preparing myself to help my wife cope with a heartache once again. We've not been all that terribly successful with goats around here. We had a bad parasite problem. Couldn't get the worming right and everything else. So North Georgia Mountains. Where about in the North Georgia Mountains? Who was that?
Highwayman.
Highwayman. So, Highwayman. My grandparents had a property in Ellijay for a long time when I was a little kid. We spent a lot of time up there when I was a kid. And I still have family that lives in Dahlonega. We have family all over Georgia. But yeah, glad to have you. Thanks for watching.
Sandra from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati.
My family's from
Wow.
Youngstown.
Yeah.
Both of my parents were born and raised there.
Yeah. And she watches a lot. We really appreciate her. She's always commenting on videos.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I did not know you were in Ohio. That's pretty cool. Her, did you bring a knife by chance?
No.
I'm gonna get a knife. Oh! Oh!
Oh, Cleveland, Georgia. Oh yeah, we've visited Cleveland several times.
Oh yeah.
Taking the kids,
Mm-hmm.
Stone Mountain, the Cabbage Patch Place.
Oh yeah. Isn't that where we did the gym lines and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. A lot of fun.
It's a beautiful area up there. I love it up there.
Yeah. I would bet that if we didn't have as much of a farm as we do, we would probably go more often because I have an aunt that lives in Dahlonega, and we went up there in 20. We went to Helen. Actually, we went up to North Carolina and visited with Chuck and Sandra from Sheridan Park Farms, and we came back through. We went to Helen, and then we went to my aunt's house, and we just love the mountains. We're right on the edge. We have Pine Mountain here, and so we're like 25 miles from almost the mountains, and we love it up there too. But we don't get to spend as much time as we'd like to doing that kind of stuff. What you got up there? I can't.
All of his mom's family's from Dahlonega.
Oh, cool. Yeah. What is she saying?
She started watching when Robert with Stepside Adventures.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I've been trying to get with him. So I'm a history buff too. I'm just not as keen on finding it as he is. But he's a really, really cool guy. He comes to the farmers markets that we sell at. And he'll come and chat and hang out with us because he doesn't really live all that far from where that market is. And he's just a really, really nice guy. Grew up in the same area, and I was shocked that I did not know him from anything else besides, running into each other at a thing and realizing we both did YouTube.
Henry.
I need to get together with Robert. We were texting not long ago. He was going to get me a book of history in the county that we live in so that we could learn more about the history of the property that we're on. We know a fair amount, but not as much as we'd like to. Like we have the old county road bed that runs through our property.
I think the gentleman that we met, so his family acquired the land in 68, I believe, 1968. And he said that all of the current property, even at that point, was what it was. So if what we assume is this road bed, it was even before,
Even before that, yeah.
1968.
Yeah, I hadn't even really been able to figure out when this road was paved out here.
Yeah.
Like I say, the road it is a very definite road bed. There's not very many trees in it. It's got a ditch on both sides.
There's a mountain of bricks at the end of it.
Yeah, like there was a mailbox or somebody's house was off the edge of the road or something. But anyway, Robert, I'm trying to remember the historian that's always with Robert. He said that he very well may know some stuff about this area and was going to talk to him, and I just have not had a chance to get back in touch with Robert. And he got wrapped up in the Pig Boy adventures, and I hadn't really talked to him since then.
Dan Aiken.
Yeah, oh, that's right, Dan Aiken. That's exactly right. I like watching those videos. Dan's a really cool guy. He seems to know something about almost anything that you point at. I mean, especially in our area. Uh-oh. We had a goat wreck. Kinda.
He's learned that he could jump on the couch, off the couch, on the bed. And he's not even 2 weeks old yet, so it's going to be quite an adventure.
Yeah. So Sandra, has it rained as much up there as it has here? I mean, it's been like non-stop rain. If we could get a break in the rain, we could actually get some things done around here. Winter actually, but what is it, a 4-day stretch that the water will recede a little bit? It's not gonna.
So like we went 2 days without rain and absolutely zero sunshine. So now it's been dreary all day today, but now it sounds like it's flooding out there. I did see earlier that, we're under flash floods when this sets in, so it's just water in my mud out there.
Keeping the mud hydrated. No issues.
Oh, they got a little bit of snow. No on the rain, but a little bit of snow.
Yeah.
This winter has really been awkward. Like we have the grass trying to grow, but our coldest months are February and March.
Yeah,
and
we'll get some crazy cold snaps, and of course we had the actual winter show up for what was it, a week?
Yeah.
And shocked us all because we're not used to that kind of weather down here.
Yeah, we're not used to a wind chill of 0.
Yeah.
It was pretty brutal.
It was brutal.
So that was after the so that was around Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And then I come down with COVID for the very first time. And so I thought it, of course, was being out in all that cold weather farming. And
oh, Lord, the Georgia chicken nightmare. So the answer to that is no. There's a lot of study and a lot of research that's going to have to go into that. I don't foresee that rectified lawfully, with the Georgia Department of Agriculture.
it's a joke.
Yeah, within any kind of time frame. It's such a, I don't know. It's such a touchy subject with me because we went through. We jumped through all kinds of hoops to even get the pasture poultry exemption to begin with and be able to do what we were doing. And they just came bebopping in here, and the lady, one of the ladies that was here as an inspector. Okay, you go ahead.
I'm going to tell y'all.
I wasn't here.
So they just show up unannounced, and it is ridiculous. It is real ridiculous. That woman had the nerve to tell me that she never even had farm fresh chicken, and I told her that was her problem.
Yeah.
And then the other gentleman that was with them is from the sure enough large commercial processing plants. And, I made a statement to him that, if everybody jumped on board with this farmer to consumer rights, every state jumping in and doing it, that he would be pretty much without a job. And he was like, oh no, it'll just push me back to the commercial plants. And I said, yeah, where y'all just stand there and let infected animals be processed. But us, small farmers,
yeah,
are going through all this crap.
It's so ridiculous at some of those places. They have inspectors all over the place, the big plants do. And literally, so we have a chicken processing plant in this county, and through the
it is horrible.
The capital of our county is Hamilton, Georgia, and these chicken trucks come through right there, making the turn to go down the go save the goat. No, or go save whatever paperwork that is. So in order for them to get there, they go down this road. But these birds, you could see them in the cages on the back of these 18-wheelers, and there's just birds laying there dead, half dead. They've got to be in terrible shape by the time.
Yes, they do want to put small farmers out of business. So word is they are truly trying to get rid of the small poultry exemption in the state of Georgia to where it's pushing it more towards the 20,000 limit, which at that point you're pretty much having to build a facility in this large, manner to accommodate that period. Mm-hmm. And it's just not feasible.
I'm gonna tell you, if you're really
gets my blood pressure up.
Yeah, yours and mine both. If you're really interested in all this stuff, so Chuck Lewis from Sheridan Park Farms not long ago posted an article about a company that was building a facility in North Carolina to manufacture laboratory chicken. Without the bird, it was like,
I'm gonna start eating grass.
Yeah, seriously. So I read it, and it's far enough along in the process of being approved by the USDA that they decided they were going to invest in this, multi-million-dollar facility to produce this product, package it, and get it ready to be sold. And that scares the hell out of me. Like, I don't want any part of anything like that. I mean, before too long, you're going to go to the store and every piece of chicken is going to be identical. It's going to be like a Lego piece laying there in the cooler. And it's probably going to have some crazy properties where it lasts for 6 months in the refrigerator or whatever it is. But I don't know, man. The way that our society is going with our food and the way that we feed ourselves and all that kind of stuff is really, really scary. And if you're interested in it, you need to pay attention to where stuff comes from. Support your local farmers, for sure.
Yeah.
So who else is here? There's 5 people watching. Talk to us. Ask crazy questions.
You gonna come talk?
Well, we'll bring Fuzz in. Fuzz is the resident crazy dog. So, I'll tell you guys a little bit about what we've got coming up and what we're going to be doing and this and that. Last year, a little bit earlier than this, I did a How Did the Farm Business Do video. And the farm business this year compared to last year is drastically different. So I'm going to do another video on that kind of tells how we're doing, where we're doing, and kind of where we're going and what we're gearing up to, because we learn a lot every year as far as what does well for us and what doesn't. And this year we learned a ton, and now with this whole chicken thing, we've got some big time decisions to make. Are we going to stop growing chickens? Not a chance. I mean,
not happening.
Yeah, we eat too much of it of ourselves, and we have plenty of local customers that are willing to buy it from us in a different way. Whether we contract them and they buy 20 chicks and we're contracted to raise them and as a favor butcher it for them or whatever. It's all about them trusting us and us trusting them, and then they can come see it. They can come see how it's raised. I don't have any. I've never turned anybody away from this farm that wanted to come see what we were doing. We invite it, we encourage it, just because of the fact that we like to show people what we're doing and how we're doing, and the different ways that your food can be better for you. So that's a big time thing for us is having people out on the farm. I can't tell you how many 1 or 2 person farm tours we have given over the last couple of years. Well, I guess throw them on there and make the rounds and take everybody out. Tons and tons and tons of kids have been here, and we've considered actually doing farm tours and all that stuff. We're going to be doing a little bit of, I guess, added agritourism type stuff to the farm and farm business. Jamie's going to be doing a summer camp for kids. Spring break camp.
It's going to be the beginning.
Spring break
and then
camp.
Which will probably lead to several camps for the summer.
Oh yeah. And it's good. So there's a lot of things. Well, there's one thing that a lot of people don't know. So Jamie gives a lot of horseback riding lessons here.
Not lately. We've had way too much mud.
Yeah. It's got to dry out a little bit to be able to have them safely. But that's one of the big things that she does. And we've done some things. The barn build that's been a creeping, slow nightmare about like everything else I build big. That's going to be a big, big help to the whole horse operation. We have a section in a pasture that's all plowed up, and we are able to keep the dirt nice and soft and set up barrels and polls and other things out there to learn the different timed equestrian events. Fix his poor ear, poor guy. He just mad because he didn't get any beef roast. Isn't that right, buddy? Isn't that right? This is another bottle, baby.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were on there somewhere, but these. Yeah. He was the last one of the rescues that I had bottle raised. It was a litter of 8 puppies, and he is definitely a mama's boy.
He sure is. I can't even hardly kiss her goodbye in the morning before I go to work without this guy getting in between. He's a jealous soul, that's for sure.
No, sir.
But yeah, he was the last one of that litter.
Yes, and so we had them, after a certain age, set up in the garage in their little kiddie pool and contraption so they're not running around. When it was down to the last puppy, someone said, "Oh, we gotta take him inside."
Well,
and then he started calling him a name, and he always wanted a boy dog that would be his best friend.
See how that worked out. My luck. She's here with them all day at the farm, and they are her co-workers, she calls them. So they're
not very good co-workers, but
she has 5 dogs, a cat, and a goat, and 5 horses that are all co-workers, and everybody else, the pigs are being farmed and the chickens are being farmed, but all the rest of them are co-workers. Oh goodness. So some other stuff that we got going on. So the pork stuff has obviously grown tremendously. Get your goat.
I tried to get it.
The pork stuff has grown tremendously. I think the most feeders that we've had at one time was 16. Right now we have 20. Yeah, there's the goat. So we have 20, yeah, Angela's trying to get on the table. So I want to say last year, what did we decide last year? How many pigs we processed for the farm? 24. Somewhere around there, 24. This year, right now, between what we've already processed and what's on the ground growing, it's right around 30.
Yeah, 29.
So it's 29 that will, and the year's not over yet. So I don't think we have any pigs on the ground that are going to be able to grow out soon enough to get them into this year. We've got some that are being, that should be bred already. And once those hit the ground, those will be our committed wholes and halves for this time next year. So we'll start prepping to sell those in December, January, and February of next year. That's the one thing that we do. So farmers markets, they run a season, and ours just so happened to end in October. And even though we have grown a pretty good customer base, and people come to the farm when the farmers markets are not going on and all that kind of stuff, the wholes and halves are a big add to us to fill that void for the farm business. Sell a ton of eggs during that time, and we sell, how many, so 6 or 7 this year maybe?
What, half wholes?
Wholes and halves.
Yeah. Yeah,
6 or 7 pigs.
Yeah, so because I took 5 in December, and 3. So 7.
Yeah,
7 total. So because I just took 5 on the 23rd, and I think 3.5 of those were something else.
In the house.
Fuzz.
You can't play with the goat like that.
Alright, speaking of eggs, so it's been going around on the news, I've been seeing it on social media, chicken feed.
Oh Lord.
So I really haven't read into it. I've been seeing a lot of Tractor Supply chicken feed. So I'm going to tell you, my chickens were not laying eggs for quite some time, and I do not shop at Tractor Supply for my feed.
No.
So, I'm really not sure about that. I mean, ours is a pretty much local mill. You know, it comes out of Alabama, so it's not.
Yeah, we really can't attribute to that too terribly much. I've heard a lot of people say specifically Purina. I've heard a lot of people say commercial feed. But, so I mean, if they're blaming it on commercial feed at all of these huge, gigantic egg farms, then, I mean, where is that specific commercial feed coming from? I mean, you know, Purina is not making the only chicken feed around that's going to all these places and causing harm to birds. Now, I have been known to dive into conspiracy theories myself, so I don't want to knock the whole thing, but I mean, the feed that we buy from Tucker Millen, we sold off a lot of our older flock this year, and we're replacing it. So we did a lot of moving around and disrupting the birds, and they stopped laying. But all we did was settle them back down. We put lights on them because it's the winter time, give them some longer time in the light, and we feed the same stuff we've been feeding for a long time. It's from Tucker Millen in Alabama, and I mean, what did it take them 2 weeks after we settled them down and they started laying again?
Well, not only that, you know, too, the days are starting to get longer as we're going through, you know, this time of year. So the chickens are acquiring more natural light, which is required for them to lay eggs. So people are immediately swapping their feeds, thinking, you know, if this theory is correct that commercial feed is being compromised to keep hens from laying backyard eggs, I don't know. But, you know, the elements are also changing outside, which are only good for egg laying.
Well, I'm sure that anybody and everybody that's watching this is going to see and understand what I'm talking about, but we have seen this massive influx of people that are going to get some chickens and have their own eggs, and they're looking for chicks. And I don't think that they understand that by the time most of this egg issue is over with, there won't be an egg issue. And I mean, of course, once they get chickens, it turns into chicken math.
Oh, yes.
And then they're going to have 100 chickens. So, I mean, you know, you can't just have a couple. So they're either going to become a chicken lover and they're going to have chickens for the rest of their lives, or they're going to realize how much extra work it is on them, and it's going to drive them crazy, and then they're going to be getting rid of them soon. But
or the I've got too many eggs situation, and you know the feed prices are still going to be high. I don't see that coming down anytime soon. No. And
not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. So we're about 30 minutes into this thing. I'm gonna tell you what, we are killing it. We got 3 of y'all watching, and we appreciate y'all more than you know. We don't do this very often, and you know, we just figured we'd get on here and talk for a little while and let you guys know what we were doing, and if you guys wanted to talk about anything specific, ask any questions about what we got going on here, who lives here, who doesn't live here, all that kind of stuff. That's kind of what we were after. But so, what is she saying?
The channel that she watches.
Oh yeah. What's his name? I watch him too sometimes. Just a Few Acres. He's in New York, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah. Huh.
So we have a situation to where our breeding demands are a little bit higher. Another local farm is removing the breeding program from their setup and will actually outsource purchasing their piglets from other farms. So their first choice, of course, is to purchase from us because they know what we have. One of our girls come from their farm. And then, of course, you know, I've kept her daughter, and she's a great producer also, so they know.
We have
4.
So we have 4 breeding. We have 3 breeding sows and 1 gilt right now. the gilt is being bred right now.
Oh, so I
for the
have
first
two
time.
of her daughters.
Uh-huh,
That's right. Yep.
So,
Well, keep up.
you know, our original boar that we had here that we bought in 19, he just did not. I don't know. He did a good job. He was proven. We had several litters from him.
He was a very gentle guy.
He
Also,
was.
very respectful.
Yeah, and but he was just not producing the piglets that we wanted, and we weren't 100% sure what his cross was. We you know, when we first started looking for pigs in our area, we had a hard time. You know, it took us quite some time to even find pigs here, and when we did, we jumped on it. We wanted to stay away from auctions and things like that because you never know what you get from an auction. But anyway, when we decided to change our boar out, we really did some investigation, and we drove quite a while to get the boar that we have now. And let me tell you, if you've watched some of our recent videos and you've seen some of the 20 piglets that we have on the ground right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He and the girls that we have here, the combination is producing some really pretty
Yes,
piglets.
because he even stated, so Lila, she come from our original mama, which is just the Yorkshire pink pig, and we really didn't care for that line in there either.
Mm-mm.
And so we bred her so far once to the new boar, and Chris immediately said that, you know, I think we should just sell off that whole litter of piglets and process her. Now, this is the one that I saved. Her mama crushed her. I did mouth to snout, and she's not getting processed. I mean, like, we would have to be in dire need to eat
unfortunately,
pork. But anyways,
animals like they get headstones around here.
yeah. So that litter of piglets did not leave the farm, but some of them may. A local butcher picked up those 7 that we had.
Yeah, we sold some.
And he's gonna, you know, raise them and butcher them for his retail store that he opened up. But some of Lila's babies are still here, and let me tell you, they are nice piglets, really nice piglets.
Yeah, so that's the piglets in the last video that we just released, where we had to move them all the way across the farm, and everybody thought I was joking, but that's literally about 1/8 of a mile all the way across the farm. We got probably about a half mile of road frontage in front of the farm, and they got the full cross country tour when they moved where they're at. But yeah, so that's part of the future is us actually selling piglets, and for other people that do what we do, having piglets that are bred from pigs that are pastured pigs that are trained to electric and all of those things, they tend to turn into better pigs. You go back and you watch a lot of these guys that do rotational grazing using electric fencing, like your Greg Judy and Joel Salatin and all these other guys. They will cull an animal in a heartbeat simply because of the fact that it will not stay in an electric fence. It will not learn the process. It will not.
I got 9 that don't want to stay in the fence either.
Well, that's because, I mean, when it rains for 27 days straight, the electric solar charger doesn't charge worth crap. You know, we got about 9 miles of extension cord stretched out this way.
Yes. So
And
I was
praying for
mixing. Was
sunlight.
that yesterday?
That was yesterday, yeah.
So I was mixing feed, and I heard the pigs like making their little barking sound and running. So behind the pond, there's a group of pigs back there, and I was like, "Dang, they're loud this morning." So I turn and look up that way, and 9 pigs
9 of the 10 in that group
are running across the dam. I'm pretty sure if you've seen any aerial views of the farm, you could see, you know, where the pond is and where pig setups are. Them running across the dam was far from their setup.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know how, but all I did was grab one bag of feed, jumped on the side by side, went through one gate, and by the time I got to their setup, them jokers come running back. And lo and behold, I just immediately grabbed the netting and lifted a side up and put them back in it. And then it dawned on me that that netting never shocked me. Well, it's been raining forever, and it's been cloudy. The solar charger was not hot at all.
Yeah, just barely. Just barely. So that brings me to a question. So I was talking to Jamie earlier today, and I really think that Jamie needs to start her own YouTube channel as the adventures of a wife that is a full-time farmer, because I'm at work all the time. She's
And it's
the
a
one
crap
that
show when he's at work.
Yeah, she gets all the fun stuff while I'm gone.
Oh, he says fun.
I mean, I'd love it if I was here. So.
No, you wouldn't.
I
Because
probably
normally
I'd
when
probably
it's
cuss and
catastrophe,
cuss
yep,
and-
yep.
But no, I really do. I think that the life of Jamie on this farm and what she does on a daily basis, I really think it would be interesting. She probably gets tired of me calling her throughout the day sometimes. It seems like every time I get in the truck to go ride to a job site or go meet with a customer or something like that, I'll just call her and say, hey, what are you doing? And she's like, well, I'm trying to get something done, but I'm on the phone with you. So, but anyhow, I'm gonna keep trying to convince her. Well, guys, so we're rolling up on about 37 minutes on here. We were gonna try to do an hour, and we were hoping that we might get some more questions. Here we go. Oh yeah, so I guess you've seen that video. Yeah, we did have to chase some pigs through the woods. If y'all hadn't seen that video and you want to see some mad people, you go look at that video. We had some...
That one almost caused a divorce.
No, it wasn't that bad. We're working on 21 years. Come on now.
He can't handle the stress of it. Like, he gets so worked up over it, and I'm just like, calm down. Calm down. If they don't come back, they don't come back.
Well, no, there's no wild hogs in our county. They would know who did it. But no, if you want a good laugh, I'll suggest 2 videos. Go back and look at the one where the pigs escaped into the woods. 14 feeder pigs, all over 200 pounds, strolling about 1.5 miles away from the farm, and me and my fat self trying to chase them down through the woods, and that was pretty funny. And then we have a video where we had to catch some piglets in a training pen to castrate, and the 2 of us venturing into a 16 by 32 training pen trying to catch 10 piglets that are lightning fast.
That was still the dumbest thing we ever did.
Oh, it was. Matter of fact, isn't that what we named the video?
I think so.
Yeah. So, fun stuff. But we got a lot of things coming. With what we do so repetitive, sometimes it's extremely hard for us to come up with new stuff. And when we do come up with new stuff, it may not be as oriented to what our viewers have seen from us, and they may not enjoy it as much. But building this barn and building all sorts of stuff around the farm. We're gonna have some fencing videos probably this summer. We got a couple of sections of perimeter fence that really need to be replaced.
Yes.
We're probably gonna dive into that. We've got some actual fence maintenance. We got a fence back in the woods that we probably just put the wrong kind of fence up back there, and as the water flows down through the woods, it pushed up a bunch of brush and leaves and all kinds of stuff, and it actually laid this fence over. This is tight field fence with barbed wire across top, and it just laid it right over. We've pushed it up a couple of times, and the good Lord is telling us that we need to do something different there. So it's just a something that we got.
Kaleidoscope junkie. Good evening.
Hey, how are you doing? But yeah, so fences are going to be a big thing coming up. The finishing the barn, we've got some sections of the barn that are going to get concrete floors. We're going to be doing some videos on that. I've still got portions of the roof that need to be finished. which is, the roof has been the bane of my existence.
But once again, the rain, and he was pretty adamant. So like what he's painting, you know, the metal roof stuff, whatever. I read the instructions,
And I listened to her.
and it clearly says, you know, it has to be way above 40 degrees for what I think 12, at least 12 hours.
So.
He would have just painted this on there, and at $115 a bucket.
Yeah.
No. So between the crazy weather, like on the days it's not raining, it's not getting above 40.
Yeah.
And then rain.
It's been a struggle to get the small roof project finished, but as soon as I get the roof project finished, I have started putting some foam boards up down in the lower portion. The long term goal is to turn our separate garage into a farm store, and all of my workshop type stuff, rolling toolboxes with mechanic type tools in them, saw benches, all those kind of things are all going out there. So I'll have a 10 by 20 section that's going to get concrete, and then there will be a 10 by 10 room for her for tack and feed, and then there's going to be 5 is it 10 by 10?
10 by 10.
10 by 10 stalls out there for horses. So,
which these stalls, I mean, the horses won't be in them permanently, but for feeding purposes, it will be nice to put them separately. Yes, I mean, I don't care. If you live anywhere in Georgia, you completely understand what's happening. Like, north, south.
Oh, I'm telling. So it's not just here. I mean, I'm watching videos from other people like Jamie up at Seven Stands Farm. He's had a ton of rain, and he did a video about too much mud not too long ago. And I know Chuck and them have been getting a lot up there, and I mean, you watch the news and you just watch it roll across the south, and then it just rolls right up the east coast. So everybody's been getting slammed with the rain, and a week or two reprieve would be amazing. I know in the middle of the summer, I was telling Jamie the other day, I said, I hope in the middle of the summer when it doesn't rain for a month, that the ground remembers all of this rain. So,
but the moment we plant our garden, you know, we won't get no rain. We'll have to run that water bill up with water in it with the sprinkler.
Yeah.
So
yes, we will. Yeah. So hopefully we're gonna do more cow videos this year too. We've gotten up to about 20 head, which spring is gonna be thinned down. You know, we've got all of last year's calves still here. So a lot of those calves are going to be sold off. Some of them will be kept for our butchering for the farm business, and then we're probably going to cull some cows that they produced a calf every year, but it's not. I don't know. They just the calves aren't growing well. Some of those cows are smaller framed. I'm pretty sure that one of those is a Dexter cross. We didn't do much study when we went out and started buying cows when we got here, because 7 years ago when we started cows, we really didn't have a purpose. We had a great big pasture with a lot of grass in it, and the few horses that we had weren't going to take care of it, and this light bulb goes off, oh, we could have our own beef. So we went out and started buying cows, and we really didn't care what they were. So hopefully we're going to do a little bit more structure to that. We're going to do better with some rotational grazing, electric our electric rope out through there, kind of like we did with the pigs this past summer. So that'll be something different.
So the billboard tarps are the best thing.
Oh my goodness, yes.
They are holding up. We had full intentions of actually taking them off of the chicken tractors. We ain't got around to it, but if it was a regular tarp on there, it would already be, I mean, destroyed by now. Between the wind, the storms we have had, we've had some pretty aggressive wind storms come through, and then the rain and the cold, like, they haven't even frayed at all. Mm-hmm. Like,
if there was one thing that I could have done different, so we bought the rivet kit from Harbor Freight, and I think that when I was taking and pounding the backside of the ring on, I think I was doing it a little too hard. The lips on them are shaped and flared in a specific direction for it to kind of fold around each other. And as I was hitting them, I think I was hitting them a little too hard, and some of those rings are cut around that.
Yeah, like a full piercing.
Yeah, but even with that being said, at those where it's cut around those rings, the tarp itself or the billboard vinyl has not torn at all. So that was a really, really good investment. Well, actually, it really wasn't an investment at all.
What would I break it down? 62 cents a tarp or something like that?
Cents a tarp or something. And the thing about it is we created a connection. So that guy gave me his phone number, and he said, we always have these billboard tarps. He said sometimes I ride around with them on my truck for 2-3 months before they actually make it to a dumpster. He said, so I'm in this area quite a bit. He said, if you need some more of them, just give me a shout, and we'll see how it goes.
And that's the thing, like, they could be used, multiple things. Like, we talked about it for covering our round bells, so we go and get, a decent load of round bells. They could be used for a number of things. Covering a garden area to kill everything off.
So are you saying
for
that
$50?
So are you saying that the billboard companies sell the used ones for $50? I'd be curious, because I have heard of some of those companies selling them, but so all I did was jump on Facebook and I had seen it on another video. I want to say maybe Sow the Land was I watched them build a chicken tractor, and it was like a year and a half ago, and it just hit me out of nowhere. And I was like, well, I wonder if I could actually find any billboard tarps. And I put it out on Facebook, and before I knew it, there were 4 or 5 different people. And then I had somebody message me a private message, and
well, it was her mother that worked for. She worked in the office side of it, and put us in connection with them, and they were like,
and now I have them. Well, so here's the thing, though. If you don't do social media, you see them on, what do you say, on Craigslist?
Yeah, but for sale.
Yeah, so...
I'm pretty sure you would spend less than $50 in gas to come pick some up from here if we got them for you.
That's pretty far, northeast, or say northeast Georgia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but, so the thing is, though, if you were to reach out to some of these companies and just say, what do y'all do with these billboard advertisements that you take down? How many billboards you see that are a gimmick? The billboard is limited time offer, 5% interest rate on whatever, and when that thing comes down, they're not going to put it back up. So, but anyway, in
true reality, depending on the size of it that they're selling it for $50. And if you could get multiple tarps out of, whatever the dimensions are, it's still worth it versus going paying $25 for a tarp that's going to southwest of Athens. Go Dogs. You're not far from us. We're at, southwest of Athens.
Yeah, so So where were those tournaments up there that the boys played ball? Was that Oconee? That was in Athens. Our boys played a ton of baseball when they were little. And we did some state
McDonough, McDonough, is that in the same area? Sonoya.
No, you're all over the board.
I don't know, whatever. All I know is I just drive to them and pray to get home before, the next morning. Oh, but we do miss those days.
Yeah, we do. But it has given us the opportunity to dive into this whole farm thing a little bit more.
Oh, North High Shoals in Oconee. Okay.
Yeah. So I want to say the tournament that we played was at Oconee High School, maybe. We stayed in Athens at a hotel and the whole 9 yards. That was a pretty fun time. We were up there 3 or 4 days, I think.
Oh, you're talking about
Peyton, the first year
state.
they went to state. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Well, guys, we appreciate y'all stopping by and hanging out with us and listening to us ramble on about all the things that we do around here and the things that we want to do around here. We appreciate all you guys' support from watching the channel, liking the videos, commenting, and giving us ideas on what you see and what we could do better and all that. So it's very, very, very much appreciated. And hopefully we'll continue to grow and be able to produce better and better content, or just have a dog jump in your lap. But we're going to sign off. You guys have a good night, and we will see you on the next videos that we put out.
Come by.
Come by, Fuzz.
Come by.
Come by, Fuzz the dog. Oh, now I got to figure out how to turn it off. Ta-ta.